Hey everybody, so in this video I'm going to be sharing about my pre and post workout meals. But just a quick disclaimer, this is purely a sharing session, purely a sharing session. And just bear in mind that everybody's body is different, so what I've been consuming over the past few years that has worked for me, that has led me to this certain level of strength and endurance that you may or may not have seen in some of my videos. Okay, if you should choose to consume the same thing, okay, they can be a basis for starting your workout journey, but as you continue to exercise, okay, you should also look around at other sources, see what other people are eating, okay, and eventually come up with your own pre or post workout meal that is most suitable for you. So for my pre-workout, I would always at least have 1 mug of coffee. Aha! So what coffee does, I have 3 journal articles over here. I'll put the links in the description below. 2 are open access, you can read the entire thing, and 1 of them is just going to be the abstract. But it just helps to improve your concentration and focus, and overall it will just enhance your sporting performance. This 3rd journal article, where it's just the abstract, it mentioned that the participants who were involved in the research, when they were doing their bench press, they could do more repetitions under the influence of caffeine, and they also demonstrated higher arousal scores. This other article, on the other hand, states that athletes who are habitual coffee drinkers already, they don't actually feel the ergogenic or the enhancing effects of coffee, so they don't really feel that increase in concentration and focus. I guess if I were to apply what this second article says to myself, it would be true, because I've been drinking coffee for about 5 years now, and every day I would take anywhere between 1 to 3 cups of coffee, and I would say the effect where it's supposed to make you more focused or have improved concentration, okay, I think that effect is a bit diminished or duller for me, because I'm acclimatized to its effects already. I actually drink coffee more so because I personally feel that I can work out better when I have drunk it. Yeah, it's like a perception thing rather than an actual benefit, scientific benefit to the body doing the workout. So that's for coffee. I like to drink it without milk and sugar, because I think the more bitter the better. Depending on when my breakfast or lunch is, okay, I may or may not eat additional food together with the black coffee. Okay, normally I would work out in the late afternoon during this period of time. So yeah, if the workout is gonna be more intense, and if I did not have a very heavy lunch or breakfast, then I will eat something that's a bit sugary. Okay, maybe put in some Milo, mix it with the black coffee, or maybe have a banana. If the workout is gonna be more relaxed or not too intense, then it would just be the coffee by itself. In terms of when to start the workout after your pre-workout meal, for myself it's about 15 minutes, because normally I don't have too much in my stomach, I don't feel very full, so if I start my workout after 15 or 20 minutes after the pre-workout, I feel totally fine. Okay, but if there was a really heavy meal just before, or if I had something really heavy with my coffee, maybe I'd wait between 45 minutes to 1 hour. So yeah, that's in summary my entire pre-workout meal. The main ingredient is coffee. Yeah, I'm gonna get to doing a workout now, and I'll follow up with my post-workout meal. Oh, I forgot to mention why I would take banana or Milo before my workout. Such foods are higher in GI, or glycemic index. I myself have not found a factual article that states that high GI equates to simple carbs, or that low GI equates to complex carbs. So I'm not going to use those 2 terms, simple and complex carbohydrates. I'm just going to talk about GI. My reference for talking about glycemic index comes from this article, which talks about exercise management for the young adults with type 1 diabetes. So what the article states about glycemic index is that the higher GI carbohydrates, it's more preferable to consume them a short while before you do your exercise or your workout. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm already going to be starting my workout like 15 to 20 minutes after I consume my pre-workout meal. Therefore, I would like to take something with a higher GI, and yeah, Milo and Bananas would normally have a higher GI. So alternatively, sometimes I would take like a cookie or a sugary snack, which is not really as healthy. So yeah, if you're going for a healthier option, I think the most solid answer would be to consume a banana for high GI if you're gonna start your workout like a short while after you eat. Some additional info, okay, about low GI doesn't mean that you only can consume high GI before your workout, alright? If you were to consume something with a lower glycemic index about 1 to 4 hours before your exercise, okay, it can actually provide a slower release of carbohydrate during the span of your workout. So I would think if you're going to be exercising for a relatively long period of time, maybe like 3 or even 4 hours, if you're doing a very long run or something, you might want to mix it up, put in both high and low glycemic index carbohydrates into your pre-workout meal, so that the higher GI food can kick in at the start of the workout and the lower GI stuff can, you know, provide energy for the rest of your workout. Sometimes I have workouts that are pretty long, like about 3 hours. So what I sometimes do is I take banana, Milo, okay, and oatmeal. Oatmeal is lower in GI, and I blend them all together and I drink it, and then I work out like maybe 30 minutes after that. So I have the higher GI foods, the Milo and banana, helping me at the very start of the workout, okay, and then towards the end of the workout where I'm pretty tired and fatigued, that's when, you know, the oatmeal is the one that's helping me to provide some energy. So that is finally everything about pre-workout meals. This video has actually been taking quite a while to film. I started like sometime last week, and I did 2 full takes of talking about pre-workouts and post-workouts, but when I looked through them, I rushed it a bit, and some of the stuff that I was saying was a little questionable. So I wanted to film something that generally most people will accept and that is decently reliable information. Needless to say, science will always be changing. Okay, new discoveries might state that, hey, all these articles that I've been sharing with you all, okay, maybe the information they have been giving has actually been incorrect or something. But as of right now, I think most of the stuff that I have been saying so far is hopefully relatively legitimate. But you know, obviously, if anyone out there has anything that you disagree with or that you want to dispute, please go ahead and share it with me, because yeah, for me, I would learn something as well. Okay, so this is the post-workout portion, and in this segment, I'll be talking mainly about how many grams of protein I consume in my standard post-workout meal and the source that I derive it from. To begin with, there are many forms of proteins. You know, some come from animals, some come from plants. There are also a whole range of amino acids. However, at the level that I'm working out at, where I'm not at an elite level and I'm not a professional athlete, okay, the exact kind of protein that I am ingesting or consuming, you know, it probably wouldn't have a very huge impact or difference in my sporting performance. Like if I can maybe do like 20-ish pull-ups, you know, just changing up the protein is not gonna let me go from 20 to like 40 pull-ups suddenly. All that takes time and effort. As such, in this segment, protein is going to be more of a generic term. So for you yourself who are watching, if you are not competing at a very elite or professional level as well, then I would recommend not stressing too much on the exact kind of protein you are consuming. Just look at it in terms of how many grams you should take, and yeah, you can go and find the relevant sources by looking at the nutritional info on the back of various food products. I've been going over 2 articles so far. They both talk about resistance training. So if you're more of a cardio or endurance-based athlete, the figures could be a bit different for yourself. Okay, but what I stated over here is that 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body mass. All right, this is the amount that should minimally be consumed so that you can experience some form of muscle hypertrophy. So basically, you know, getting more muscular. Both articles also state that, you know, this number 1.6, it isn't some universal or magical number that once you consume this exact amount, it's gonna translate to becoming very muscular. Everybody's bodies are different. Okay, you know, it doesn't mean that if you take 1.4 grams instead of 1.6, then you're not gonna gain any muscle at all. Yeah. Similarly, you shouldn't over exceed the amount. Of course, this is just like a rough figure for most people to refer to. You shouldn't be consuming like 5 grams of protein per kilogram body weight. That's clearly too much. This first article that I'm reading also states that if you have more, if you train more, or if you're working out more, you are more prone to losing muscle size as compared to somebody who's not training as much. So to simplify that, yeah, if you're not eating enough, then you're going to be losing some sort of muscle. The article also states that if you want to effectively prevent the loss in muscle size, then you should up the protein amount, the consumption, to like 2.3 grams to 3.1 grams per kilogram of body weight. Okay, however, I think this is in reference to more elite level athletes where their workout is very intense. Yeah, for myself, the amount that I'm currently taking is 1.8 to 2.1 grams per kilogram of body weight. Yeah, so it's just a rough amount that I use. It's a bit more than 1.6, but not an extreme case of like, as I mentioned, 5 grams per kilogram of body weight. So yeah, 1.8 to 2.1, and that would translate, my weight now is 75 kg, so that translates to about 135 to 160 grams of protein in a single day. Whew. Okay, my maths is terrible, but let me just do this final breakdown. Using 1.8 grams per kilogram of body weight protein consumption, okay, at my weight of 75 kg, that would mean in a single day, I should be consuming 135 grams of protein in total, okay, at the minimum. And I roughly take between 4 to 5 meals a day. I'm going to round it down to 4 meals, okay. It means that each meal should be 33.75 grams of protein, okay, because we're not gonna be measuring that exact amount whenever we look at our post-workout meal. For me, I will normally round the number up, okay, because normally my post-workout meal would have the highest amount of protein compared to all the meals that I eat in a single day, and I would round the number up from 33.75 to maybe 35 or even 40 grams of protein in that single post-workout meal. For this video in particular, I'm just going to be using 40 grams because it's an easier number to work with and talk about. Finally, I can talk about the sources of my protein. Yeah, I detest the maths part a lot, but I normally get them through soy milk or eggs or both. The brand of soy milk that I use here in Singapore is Nutri-Soy. I actually have spent some time at the supermarket looking at the whole shelf of different milk and soy milks. Okay, and yeah, this brand Nutri-Soy has the highest level of protein per serving. It's like 10 grams for 250 ml. Yeah, so I would normally take about 500 ml, so it's out of a 1 liter packet, just about half a packet, and that already helps me get 20 grams of protein. So how many eggs can you eat in a day? This is gonna be another big question, and honestly, I haven't researched it enough, and I don't want this video to be too much longer, so I may talk about this in another video. What I've heard, however, is some sources say 2, some say 4, and some new research even shows that you can eat as many eggs as you want. There's not much significant impact on the cholesterol levels. Personally, I do not know. Okay, so what I choose to follow is 4 eggs in a day. And yeah, normally I would take between 2 to 3, however, because sometimes during lunch or dinner there's already gonna be an egg inside. So yeah, normally 2 to 3 eggs. If it's a more intense workout, then 3. Less intense, then will be 2. And 1 egg has about 4 to 5 grams of protein. So let's just say if I take 3 eggs, then it's gonna be 15 grams added with the 20. That's 35 grams. And the last 5 grams, I would take something like oatmeal with a little bit of peanut butter mixed together. That can get you 5 grams already. Sometimes I would take a slab of tofu, okay, but one entire slab of tofu is roughly about 12 grams of protein. So if I were to take that, then I will reduce the amount of eggs that I'm eating. So in total, it's roughly plus minus 40 grams of protein. And that is my post-workout meal. So this brings us to the end of the video. Personally, I'm quite relieved. Okay, as I mentioned, I have filmed this quite a number of times already, but I think in this final take, I have managed to bring across what I've wanted to say to you all. And yeah, I think most of the stuff that I've talked about, you may have already known about it, just that hopefully I've made it a bit more aware to you. Like my pre-workout meal is essentially just a dose of caffeine to help focus and concentration, or in my case it's more of like a comfort food that helps me that gives me the perception that I'm gonna do better in my workout. I accompany that with a bit of a sugary food that has higher glycemic index to give me the additional boost during my workout. And at the end of the workout, okay, I have this calculated value of protein based on a rough figure. Okay, I don't eat too little, I also don't go way above the amount. And yeah, if I have had a pretty intense workout, I eat a bit more protein. If my workout was just normal, just chill, okay, then I have lesser protein. And that's really the gist of this entire video. At the end of the day, as also mentioned earlier, it's really just about experimenting with what you like and what you enjoy. Um, to know the rough guidelines, like what caffeine does, the difference between high and low GI foods, and the amount of protein to consume. Just having that rough knowledge, the rough guidelines, and the rough numbers, okay? And then from there, design your own pre and post workout meals. I hope you have enjoyed this sharing session. Whew, I always have problems with those two words, but yeah, if you have any queries or things that you're unsure about in terms of pre and post workouts, do feel to drop me a DM on Instagram. I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities. And if you have anything that you disagree with, also let me know so that I myself can improve or address these mistakes that I've made in my next video. And if not, don't stop moving, and I will see you soon.